Hey guys, Dr. Brown here, and tonight we're working an 8th grade problem, and it deals with the difference in two numbers is 5. Their product is 14. We're asked to find the numbers. So let's get after it. Okay, the difference. You know, when you see the term difference, that's subtraction. When you see product, that's multiplication. Okay? So I'm going to let my two numbers be X, and that marker is about to go. But I'm going to let the two numbers be X and Y. Okay? So it says X minus Y, the difference in two numbers is 5. Okay? And then it says their product is 14. So X times Y equals 14. Now I have two variables that I don't know what they are, so I need two equations to solve for them. And I have those equations. I have one equation and the second equation. So I can take this equation and add 5 to both sides so that I have X equals something. Once I have the X equals something, I'm going to put that something in here for X and solve for Y. Hey. So X minus Y plus Y. So I added Y to one side, so I have to add Y to the other side. So Y minus Y is 0, or negative Y plus Y is 0. So these two cancel, so X equals 5 plus Y. Now then, I can take that, since X equals that, and I can plug it right in there for X. So I have 5 plus Y, which was my X, times Y equals 14. Now I can use the distributive property and distribute that Y to the inside. 5 times Y is 5Y. Y times Y, and that's a positive Y times a positive Y, is a positive Y to the second power. And that equals 14. Well, I'm going to subtract 14 from both sides now. 5Y plus Y to the second power minus 14 equals 14 minus 14. 14 minus 14 is 0. Now let me organize this. I'm going to put the squared term first. So Y to the second power plus 5Y minus 14 equals 0. Hey, when in doubt, do what? Factor. Always, if you really can't break a problem down, say, let me factor this thing. That looks terrible. 5Y. Okay, I'm going to break this thing into 3 pieces here. And when we factor, what's the goal? I'm trying to find the factors of 14, negative 14, that when I multiply those factors together, it gives me negative 14. But when I add the factors together, it gives me a positive 5. So what are the factors of negative 14? Well, let's just say 14 for the moment. That's 14 and 1. 7 and 2. Wow. Oh, hey. Look at this. If I have a negative 7 times a positive 2, that gives me a negative 14. But when I add those two together, negative 7 plus 2 gives me a negative 5. That's not a positive 5. So let me change the sign here. Let me put this as a positive 7 and a negative 2. So negative times positive is negative. 7 times 2 is 14. But a positive 7 plus a negative 2 or minus 2 gives me a positive 5, which is what I want. So I have, if I break this down, this is y times y, and then this is a positive 7 and a negative 2. If I cross multiply these, so positive 7 times y is positive 7y. Negative 2 times y is negative 2y. If I add those together, that gives me a positive 5y. Positive times negative is negative. 7 times 2 is 14. Y times y is y squared. So that gives me what I started with. So now I know my terms are y plus 7 times y minus 2. And that equals 0. Okay, now if you were to FOIL this, y squared plus 7y minus 2y minus 14, you would get that right there. Okay, so what does this mean? Something times something equals 0. What's 0 times 1? 0. 0 times a million? 0. 0 times anything is 0. So what does that mean for us? Well, that means this could be 0 or this could be 0. So let's just set it equal to 0. Y plus 7 equals 0. Y plus 7 minus 7 equals 0 minus 7. All I've done is subtract 7 from both sides. 7 minus 7 is 0, so y equals negative 7. Okay, well if y equals negative 7, x equals 5 plus y. X equals 5 plus a negative 7, which is just 5 minus 7. So x equals negative 2. So in this case, I have, for this side, x equals negative 2, y equals negative 7. All right, let's do the other one. Y minus 2 equals 0. Y minus 2 equals 0. Y minus 2 plus 2 equals 0 plus 2. So negative 2 plus 2, those cancel. So y equals 2. Okay, if y equals 2, x equals 5 plus y. X equals 5 plus 2 equals 7. So x could equal 7 and y equals 2. All right. Let's think about this just for a moment. Let's work it right here, if you can see that. All right, we have x is negative 2, and so x minus y is supposed to equal 5. X minus y equals 5. If x is negative 2 minus what? Minus negative 7. And that's supposed to equal 5. We'll just put a box because we don't know yet. Minus a negative is what? Plus a positive. So I have minus 2 plus 7. Hey, and what does that equal? 5. So that works out. Now, x times y is supposed to equal 14. So negative 2 times negative 7. So negative times negative is a positive. 2 times 7 is 14. So negative 2 times negative 7 gives me 14. So if x equals negative 2 or x equals negative 7, that is a solution. Okay, but what about if x equals 7 and y equals 2? Okay, if x equals 7, so 7 minus y, and y was 2, 7 minus 2 equals 5. So that works out. x times y, so 7 times 2 obviously is 14. So those would be the two sets of possible solutions for x and y. That's the difference in two numbers is 5, their product is 14, x negative 2, y negative 7, or x equals 7, y equals negative 2. So hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, just message me, ping me, and we'll go from there. Why are we doing this? Together we're trying to build a better tomorrow and do that through math. That's all for now. Keep studying, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks.